In continuation with the operations research lecture series and solution to the transportation problem, we will today study the northwest corner rule to get the starting solution or basic feasible solution to the transportation problem. Now I will write the first step to form the problem or problem formulation. The first step in solving the transportation problems is problem formulation. This operations research, the transportation problems, they consist of the transportation matrix. Here we have the rows and columns in the transportation matrix. In this problem, there are three rows which represent the sources where the products are produced. I am drawing the transportation matrix now. You can see here. So the sources are written as rows. These are the sources S1, S2, S3. There are three sources in this problem, and the destinations are written as columns. Destinations are written as columns D1, D2, D3 and D4. There are four destinations, and we can take these destinations as the dealers also, which demand for the products of the company. And in the cells, these are called as the cells of the transportation matrix. In the cells, we have to write the unit transportation cost. If I write 5 here, it means that S1 to D1, if you want to send 1 unit, in that case it costs 5 rupees. And then next is 0. The third cost is 2. This is 3. Then we have 6, 2, 1 and 5. And in the third row we have 8, 9 and 2 and 6. So the left hand top corner of the cells consist of the transportation cost per unit. They are called as unit transportation costs. And now the next step is to write the supply or the products produced or products available at the sources. The supply for this problem, for the row S1, it is 15 units of products are available, and next is 5. And the third row we have got 10 units of availability of products, and demands are written in the below the columns. Demands from the dealers, they are written below the columns. The D1 dealer has demanded for 7 units, and this is 3 units, and next is 12 units and 8 units. To solve this problem, to get the starting solution or the basic feasible solution, first you have to check for the balance of the problem. To check for the balance, we take the total supply from all the sources. 15 plus 5 plus 10 is 30 units. 30 units of total supply we have. And TD, the demand, the total demand from all the 4 dealers of the company, that is 7 plus 3 plus 12 plus 8, it is also 30 units. 30 units. When the TS equal to TD, the presently TS also has got 30 units and TD also has 30 units. So TS equal to T. Therefore, we can call this problem as balanced TP. Balanced TP. If TS is not equal to TD, in that case the problem is called as unbalanced problem. There are methods to balance the problem, and then we have to start solving the problem. So the first to allocate, to get the basic feasible solution, we have to allocate these produced units to the dealers, depending on the position of this cell, actually northwest corner rule, what we are considering here, this takes the position of the cell, and then does the allocation. So here the northwest corner. So north is this side and west is the left side, and northwest corner means this is the first cell what we have, and we have to allocate the number of units to this cell now. So for that what we do is we consider the available units, that is 15 units, and there are demanded units are 7, and whichever is less it goes to this place. It is written in the bracket. If I write 7 here, it means that we have taken a decision to send from S1 to D1 7 units of production, 7 units of the product. And once these units, the entire demand of the dealer is met, you can remove that particular dealer or a particular column from this one. And now out of 15 units we have allocated 7 units here. Remove this, and now adjust it, 8 units are remaining at source S1. Now next, in the remaining matrix, again select the northwest corner cell, that is 0, and see the demanded units and supply units, and whichever is less you just write it here in the bracket to indicate that S1 to D2 we have decided to send 3 units. Now 3 units of demand of D2 are exhausted, and remove this column, and here again do the adjustment. Out of 8 remaining units we have supplied 3 units to D2, so remaining units are 5 now. Okay, in the remaining matrix again select the northwest corner cell. This is the unit transportation cost 2, that is cell is S1 D3. Now here the supply units are 5 and demanded units are 12, whichever is less we have to write it here. So 5 in the bracket, and now this 5 units have gone to this place, and 7 units of demand is still to be met at D3. Now we can see that all the units which are produced at S1, they are exhausted now. 7 plus 3 plus 5 is 15. 15 units were available, and we have allocated 15 units to D1, D2, D3. Now you can remove this row. So if all the units of supply are exhausted, remove the row. If all the demanded units are met, in that case you remove the column from the matrix. So you go on doing like this. Now the remaining matrix is 2 by 2, and northwest corner cell is this with the cost unit transportation cost 1. So now supply units are 5 and demanded units are 7. So all the 5 units you can supply to this cell. 5 units we write it in the bracket, and 5 units are sent to this place, and 2 units of demand is still to be met at D3. And once the 5 units of demand, the supply is exhausted, remove the particular row. And now at the end what happens, there will be only one row or one column left when you go on doing the allocation like this. When one row is left, you just shift the units here. 2 units are shifted to this place in the bracket, and 8 units are shifted to this one, and 8 units and 2 units of demand is exhausted. And when you add the total units supplied from S3, it is 2 plus 8 is 10. That is the production capacity of S3. Now all the units which were available at S3, they are exhausted now. Remove S3 and remove D3 and remove D4 also. So this procedure is to be continued until we have a line through every row and every column. The line indicates that those particular rows and columns are removed from the matrix, and until there is a line through every row and every column of the matrix, we continue this procedure of allocation. And now after doing the allocation of the available units according to demand from the dealers, we have to take the total transportation cost according to the first solution, that is Z1 we have to calculate. To calculate Z1, what we have to do is we have to take the product sum of unit transportation cost and supplied units. So first cell, it is 5 into 7. 5 into 7 plus second cell we have allocated 3 units, 0 into 3. 0 into 3. And third cell we have allocated 5 units and 2 into 5. 2 into 5 plus next is 1 into 5. You take the product sum. This is called as taking the product sum of the unit transportation costs and supplied units. Now 1 into 5. Next is 2 into 2 plus 2 into 2 plus 6 into 8. 6 into 8. So this is the total cost. When you add these things, this is 35 plus 0. 0 into 3 is 0 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 4 units plus next is 4 units and next is 48 units of the cost. So now add these values. So take 1 or 2 values at a time and then add 2 or 3 values at a time and then add them. 35 plus 10 is 45. 45 plus 9 plus 9 plus 48. So 45 plus 9 is 54 plus 48. 48 and 54 plus 48 is equal to 102. 102 rupees of total cost according to the starting solution. Rupees of total cost of transportation. Total cost of transportation according to NWCR. Total cost of transportation according to the northwest corner rule. So northwest corner rule, first solution is 102 rupees of total transportation cost. This is Z1. Anyway, this is Z1, the first solution to the problem, and on this optimality test is conducted and we have to arrive at the minimum total cost. So actually all these problems are to be solved to get the minimum transportation cost of supplying all the units produced at the company, at the different production units of company, to the different dealers we have demanded for the product. Thank you.